So according to CNN, who does have to divulge things, and being in the media, I know we always have to say if there's any type of conflict of interest or anything like that. CNN did say that they are owned by Warner Brother Discovery and AEW, and said that AEW has a partial, or they have a partial stake in the AEW. Is this a big deal, Phil? Does it matter?
To me, no. I of course, I'm curious as to what level, because if you go back to WCW in the 90s, and the Ted Turner organization had some stake in, well, that was to help financially WCW to afford the talent. So like, I'm curious, what does this minority stake actually mean? Does it maybe give them some voice at the table? Does it give them firm control over something? Does it give them AEW a financial piece? That's the part we're missing.
There's been some decisions that have come down from them that I don't think Tony would have necessarily done. So I'm curious to see about that. Eric, what did you think of that breaking part of the story, by the way?
I mean, like Phil said, how much influence do they have? Are they just getting the financial part of it, or are they trying to say, hey, this is what content we want to see on our network?
So
on HBO Max.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw this out too, by the way. If that is legitimately true, good move by Tony, because he's basically got the network that he's trying to stay on the hook.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for them to make a decision at some point to say we're not going to renew your deal, they're kind of screwing themselves a little bit too. They're going to have to buy Tony out, or even if it's like 5%. Not a bad play by Tony Khan.
And I'm always curious when it comes to some contract stuff and things you don't know of behind the scenes. And there's a discussion, I won't say who, in the chat that's sort of like, this isn't true. It is true. Tony Khan went on WrestleNomics and talked about like, yeah, this is true, but the deal is between us. So he's not disclosing here's all the specifics. But when they first signed that agreement, there were supposed to be some additional channels that AEW was going to appear on that haven't happened yet. And so but the revenue is there from what Warner Brothers promised. So now I'm like, where's that? So does the contract just change? Do they have a financial stake because, well, we didn't fulfill this part of the contract? So I'm very curious.
Yeah, this will be fun down the road, especially next contract negotiation. So
how much will this affect the merger? I mean, with wrestling wise,
that is going to be interesting too. The business side of this thing is fascinating. We'll see how it goes.